Hi, I'm Peter Heine Nielsen. I'm 42 years old, living in Lithuania, but I'm a Dane and has played chess for Denmark all my life. I learned chess when I think I was like 7, but in the beginning it was just a hobby for me. I prepared to play football and table tennis, but well, at some point I read some interesting books and suddenly got very interested in chess, and then it's been my life since then, and actually quite some years as a professional chess player, and the last 10 years first as a second for world champion Vishy Anand and now for world champion Magnus Carlsen.
Who taught you the rules of chess?
I think the very basic rules was taught to me by my father, and like most others, we played some games in the beginning, and at some point I was happy enough to be able to beat him. But then later, I got a bit interested by some books, but also some friends we had who taught me a bit of more sort of specialized things. And then at some point, I got tired of other sports, and I wanted to try chess a bit, and I went to the local chess club. And since then I've been a chess fanatic, basically.
Who was your chess trainer then?
I mean, I had various or maybe none, but at some point I got I started to meet a guy called Siegfried Fromm, who was the local strong player. He was I would say hopeless romantic. He would show some, games where he sacrificed all his pieces, and he would tell me, here my opponent has a rook on A8 and B8 and knight on B8 and bishop on C8 doing nothing, so I'm allowed to sacrifice just as much material. It was fun, and we had a lot of great laughs, and I was very inspired. But I think later in life I realized maybe it wasn't all correct. But it was a very good, inspiring start to my chess world.
And do you have a chess idol?
Oh, I have a lot, I would say. When I was very young, maybe it was like, you could say Karpov. But, I like Anand, I like Carlsen. I've been lucky enough to work with them. I think I had many. I think Kramnik was very inspiring for me. So I would more say that I had phases in my life where I was very inspired by people. But to say I have a clear idol is too strong. But there's a lot of players I really respect a lot. Kasparov, of course, as well. There's so many great figures in the chess world. So I think I would better say no one mentioned, no one forgotten.
What are your achievements in chess?
Well, I think, I've gotten to the 4th round of the World Cup. I think technically speaking, that's probably my best chess result. That's the one I'm most proud of. Also, I have won individual medals at the Olympiad, and I think even the European team championship, I managed to bought 1 gold medal for Denmark. So I'm very proud of that. And, I think once for a very few days, I had 2-7 in ELO, so that was quite an achievement. But, of course, I would say that it's as a second I've managed to have good results. First, I worked with Anand for quite some years, and I think he managed to win 4 world championships in a row, and I managed to help him. And now I'm working for Carlsen, and Carlsen is the current world champion. So I think as a second I have, I'm very proud of my results there for sure.
Why is chess fun in your opinion?
Oh, I think if chess is fun, I don't know. I think chess is very fascinating. It's an interesting game. I started playing chess at some point where we used to read books and would sort of sit and analyze with a board. Now there's the computer revolution that's completely changed a lot of evaluations. So despite all these negative effects, it's also meant that the understanding of chess has seriously jumped, and that's very interesting. I like working with these incredibly strong players. It's a gift that you're allowed to do such, and you get to understand chess on a very deep level. So I think for me, chess is very fascinating. I wouldn't say it's fun. I think playing basketball or football is more fun. But chess is fascinating and interesting.
And if chess is fascinating, what is so beneficial in learning chess, especially for kids?
Yeah, this is the mantra we are trying to sell chess with, right? And I think, quite rightly so. Maybe like everything else, if you do it too much, it's overdoing it. And I would say that you shouldn't exchange all your mathematical knowledge by just playing chess. But it seems that playing a bit of chess when you're young actually gives you benefits. You will maybe see, more abstract things in a concrete way in chess, and you will get good habits. We said sit on your hands. You will try to be patient and think, and you will try to compete in a friendly manner. So I think chess in schools is brilliant in the way that, of course, everybody gets in touch with chess, but it seems to have bigger benefits like that, and I think that's really the future of chess, and I'm grateful that so many is trying to promote it all over Europe or even all over the world, actually.
What is your approach when you teach chess?
I am sort of I'm the lucky situation. I've worked with world champions. I really don't try to teach them anything. I try to help them, but maybe giving a bit of critical feedback and such, and especially doing a lot of analysis for them. It's actually quite strange that for me to teach chess to someone is very difficult. You will tell them, this is a weak square. They will ask you why, and it's very difficult. I have a lot of respect for those who are able to explain complex chess to, let's say, not top-class players. But for me, it's extremely difficult. So I try not to do it, unfortunately.
And what can our viewers expect from your DVDs?
Well, I mean, this DVD, I'm trying to cover all the knowledge I have of the Semislav, and I'm trying to explain it as well as I can. Actually, I will apologize to some of my viewers that maybe it gets too detailed, maybe I take things for granted, but I'm really trying to explain the Semislav as I've seen it for the last 10, 15 years. What are the developments, what happens on top level, and I hope some will find that interesting. I mean, I'm sure you could explain details better, and maybe I take too much chess knowledge for granted, but it's a fascinating opening. I'm really trying to give away what I know about this stuff. I hope you'll have fun watching it.
And last but not least, can you give a piece of advice to our readers to improve their chess?
Yeah, I think they really should understand there's no right way and no wrong way to study chess. You should go with your fascination. You should think, okay, Semislav, that's interesting. Let me learn about that. Or maybe some ending, or maybe try and improve your practical skills. Don't have this idea that there is so many things you have to do. You have to sort of, go with your fascination. Do things that you find fun. Of course, well, if you have specific weaknesses, try and do something about them. But in general, I think fascination is the way that pushes you forward. Look at Arnold, look at Carlsen. They love chess, they're fascinated by chess, and they like to study and become sort of even better chess players all the time. I think you have to go by fascination. That's really what matters. And simply enjoy the game and then try to understand it even better.
Thank you very much, Peter Heine.
You're welcome.